we've got 2 more series for you for today. I, of course, I'm your host, Katie Bedford, for this wonderful day of Call of Duty, joined by Nameless, Pac-Man, and Study. If you missed it, go back and watch after this stream is over. We did have Enable from 100 Thieves on just before this. But again, you can see it. Miami is coming up after Anaheim. It is going to be hot, humid, and a ton of fun. Team passes are available. Get your tickets.
Get me there right now.
Toes flourishing everywhere.
Don, you gotta tell me what's
Pack's toes are going to be out. It's going to be...
I got the Miami shirt on right now. Let's go.
Okay, so we need to talk about our next series that's coming up. That is going to be Heretics versus Splyce. And I want to focus on Splyce first, because they got what some might have said a little bit of a surprising win over Envy yesterday with their sub Nolson, who I think, Nameless, you talked about it originally at the start of the day, had a great showings for his first time here at Pro League.
Yeah, Nolson had a great showing. He did what he needed to do. He played fine, and the rest of the guys played amazing. You got Looney back in his natural role, running that sub. You got Aqua back in his natural role, running that AR, and Nolson just fit their system, right? Like, on Hacienda, he pulled out the second ICR, and they were the duo there. So this is a guy who's easy to fit in. It worked well.
Study, how often do you see something where, we kind of touched on this in the first segment, how often do you see a switch up like this where there's a bunch of role changes, a sub or a new person comes in, and it ends up doing well in their first match as opposed to maybe a rougher start?
I don't think I've ever seen it. The only one I can possibly compare it to is, I guess, Priesta coming in, but Priesta, we all knew about him during his qualification matches. But Nolson, coming from where he was, just having that sub player in your mind, just going into a game like that, you just feel like you have nothing to lose, like I said it earlier. And then we saw players just stepping up in their natural roles. We saw Danny yesterday. He started out that first map, Frequency, just dominating, and eventually they ended up losing the map, unfortunately, and he slowed down. But it's just a role he has to eventually learn. He's one of the smartest players in Call of Duty, so he'll get it. And then you got Temp. The guy's an absolute beast. And then Yuli, the guy was going absolutely
Best
off
series
yesterday.
we've seen in
Best series. He had a 1.38 throughout that entire series. So this series right here is going to be really hard for Heretics to beat them in.
So
Donnie has his hat on.
Yeah, and Donnie has the hat on.
He's 3-0 with the hat.
You know.
It's like, I'm never playing again without
It's
it.
like a $400 hat, and he was asking for a raise. He's wearing a $400 dad hat.
all right, so what about Heretics, though? They have a solid hardpoint record for the week, and they're 2-0 overall. But do you think there's some room to take down Splyce here, even though they won yesterday?
Oh, yeah, it's definitely possible. I mean, Splyce is using a sub, and you know that could have just been like vibes and momentum right there in that last match. Yeah, honeymoon. Right. You never know. And Heretics is, what do they won their last 4 hard points?
Yep.
And they won game 5 both times. Yep. So they're kind of turned it around. They were 1-8 in respawn previous to that. So they went back to their old roles and they look fantastic. And Metals has been a major part of that. He's been going off for this
lucky.
team.
Yeah,
Metals lucky. The only thing that scares me for this Heretics teams with this resurgence is if they lose like that map 1 hard point. Because that's what we've seen them be good at this week. So if they lose that map 1, they've been pretty miserable in the controls still, even though they've been playing better. I don't know if they'll have the confidence, because Lucky talked about it before. For them, it's all about their confidence and their vibes as they go forward. Because they're playing, they don't make changes. They can't make roster changes, so there's none of that for them. It's all about vibes, and if their vibes are off at the beginning of the series, I can see it being trouble for Heretics.
Biggest thing for this Heretics team is that if methods can be consistent.
Yeah, he has been.
Yeah, he has been, and I think that's why they've been winning their hard points. He just needs to keep that up, right? Like, it's been 2 matches now. If he can continue to do that, this is a Heretics team that can get top 6. We've seen them make runs in brackets. He has to be the guy that steps up for this team. And if he starts to go above and beyond that, they can get over that hump.
I think he can. Of all the changes the Heretics made, the best was keeping him as a SOG, but taking the grapple out of his hands.
Yeah.
So he stops giving away those useless deaths and those lives that was making him drop those 0.6s and 0.7s. Now that he's not running the grapple anymore, he seems to be shoring up his gameplay for sure.
Pac, so that's something interesting that you mentioned, how, you know, Heretics doesn't necessarily in terms of roster switches or otherwise doesn't have as many options as anyone else would. So do you think that kind of just being with that core is more helpful to them, or can hurt them? Or?
I mean, I think just in general in life everywhere, options are always good. So if you're on a bad team, if it's us 3 up here teaming and they know they can't drop me no matter what I'm doing, there's going to be a little bit of resentment towards me no matter what.
Yeah.
So, but the fact that they can actually work it out between them, like through the losses, that's really difficult, and that's amazing to see them do that. Even though, yeah, he was struggling tremendously. They switched his role around, to try to accommodate him many times, and now he finally seems to be comfortable in his spot.
Now, on the side of Splyce, Nameless, for someone like Temp, he mentioned it yesterday on the desk that he obviously doesn't quite know how to play with Nolson yet. So when you have something like that, in your experience, how long does it take for your team and for someone like Temp, per se, or you, to kind of fall into that groove with a new player?
I think it's on their shoulders to get Nolson to fit into their system even more, right? Like yesterday, they had big performances out of individual players, and they kind of were able to just close out games from pure slaying ability. In terms of actually being a very solid team, he's going to have to learn how to fit into their system, right? Like, they're running different roles, so they have things to learn individually. But Donnie said they have a system that they've been doing since the beginning of the game. If they can get Nolson to fit into that, they'll be fine. It's just rules and setups and when they use specialists, how they break hills, just all those rules. Once Nolson learns those, they'll be okay.
All right, then.
He also came into this. What I liked yesterday was he came into that first Surgeon Troy with a very new team, and he was sniping.
Yeah,
that's something
even though he was getting shut down.
He did get shut down.
Does that say confidence?
But it's
What does that say?
It's just the confidence to be like, I snipe for this on my team, and they're like, okay, go ahead and snipe. You want to snipe? Snipe. Just letting him feel comfortable doing what he normally does. It wasn't working, and then he switched. But
I can talk about this
confident to do it.
I played a tournament with these guys online, and I actually filled in for accuracy. And I remember we were going into Search and Destroy, and Looney and Donnie were like, "And you call the play calls. We'll play around you." I was like, "What?" I was like, "You want me to call?" They're like, "No, we want you to be completely comfortable, so you do whatever." So I was like, "Okay, that's actually pretty cool." So that's maybe what they're doing with Nolson. Just let him do whatever he wants and work around him.
Well, it certainly worked out for them yesterday, of course, in that win over Envy. But it looks like we're ready to get things started now. So we're going to hand it off from the desk over to Miles and Momo.
Thank you very much, Desk. Miles and Momo here. No relation to Bob, and no relation to that sort of evil Japanese demon that made kids do sorts of stuff to themselves. But we're ready to cast two lovely series, the final series of the day for you. Interesting stuff at Desk talking about Nolson, the latest edition of Splyce, and we had a little chat before the start of the match, and it was like, he fits right in like a glove, you know, and it's so interesting to see how Splyce have brought him in, and there doesn't seem to be any sort of weird vibes. The way Temp spoke about him on the Desk briefly in that historic interview was, you know, it was kind of like, you know, yeah, he's good at the game, whatever, man, just put anyone next to me.
I felt that as well. You know, everyone kind of saw it yesterday. It's very funny, by all means. You know, I saw the funny side of, you know, interviewing Temp for a longer than 30-second period with Jess. You know, we got him on that desk. We got to hear what he had to say. And it did feel like, you know, what do you think of Nolson? Yeah, he's good. Yeah, he's all right. Yeah, I mean, whatever, you know. It's more he wants to win. And if Nolson is fitting a fifth of the puzzle or whatever it may be, then he is happy because Temp, I'm sure, feels like he can do the rest. Now, the map and modes you've got in front of us is frequency, frequency, frequency. Arsenal Hacienda. And they're going up against Heretics. Of course, we've spoke about Splyce already. Heretics, they're on some hot form. They're doing a lot better. They started very weak when they came across, the lack of practice, but they soon adapt, and that's what I love about Heretics as well. So keep your eyes out for these. These guys have been pushing them to map 4s, map 5s. Not always winning them, but it's always interesting to see Heretics push every single team back.
It's going to be an interesting test for this new Splyce to see how they respond against a team like Heretics. No, how they respond, sorry, against a team like Heretics in the respawns. How they respawn in the respond game mode. Plenty of tongue twisters here at the CWL. We had, what, Merc yesterday switching a flip. It just keeps happening, man. We love our jobs! Here we go.
Certainly do.
Map number 1. I mean, what must it be like for Nolson to just come into this squad now?
If I was Nolson, in his situation, you know, you've been playing with a European team, which is good, not great, open bracket, not pro league, amateur, not pro. You know, you've just been slotted into a team next to potentially what some may say is the best player in the world right now. Most definitely a top 3 player. You know, you're surrounded by champions, you know, people who have done so much, and it must be obviously a lot of fun as well. However, going up against the Heretics, that is, in front of them, not so fun sometimes. They're very aggressive, very fast-paced, and frequency can almost bring out the worst and best in Heretics. But keep your eyes out for Lucky. He seems to be the man of the hour, as it seems, and going into the last 30 seconds of hardpoint number 1. Contest, as it always is.
Well, and the second sort of answer there coming through from Heretics has been extremely successful. The first bout went the way of Splyce. Heretics managed to reclaim. 1 player left now for Splyce on the hardpoint, as 2 are going to flush him out. They're going to cut him down immediately. The battle going down for back now loses it to Lucky. That's going to be Nolson on your screen. Aqua finding the kill. 15 seconds, good to go, but Heretics are making an incredibly aggressive charge forward again, trying to now battle in towards this back area, that far right-hand side of the map. 2 players are on the inside, looking towards the hard point. Number 5, out there in mid-map, just trying to find these angles in the player coming out of you, and it is going to work out. Looney's going to find those kills. He's going to find a bit of damage. Here comes the play from Heretics.
We have another kill on the board for Looney. Sorg in hand. Quick shot punch will go down here. It's
going to be back into the mix. Metals and Methods there combining for a couple. And Methods, again, I can see him going off in the kill feed here. 2 kills, 1 death just in a short space of time there. I want to talk about him for a second. Obviously been kind of chopped and changed around his role, you know, from ICR to Sork, you know, from one end of the spectrum to the other. And again, he's kind of been forced to adapt. I think it was Nameless you said on the desk that they need to pick something and stick with it. I've seen him go off before on this map. And this mode combination before. He seems comfortable. It's when he's in, you know, different situations, maybe with the Sork, you see him lack a little bit. But so far, so good for Methods, 6 and 5, as he finds himself 20-25 points behind. Rotation going down, though, and it looks like Heretics have the better of Splyce.
Yeah, it's the first time we're going to see them get that rotation, only on the third hard point here. The kills seem to be coming in 2s from almost everyone here on Heretics. Wonderful shots from Sukri. He's going to get both of them there as they push through you. Smart heads-up play from Methods. It was Methods, he believed, threw himself off there to allow his team to spawn near him. Get back in the mix quicker. They do have the spawns. Perfect communication comes through there. Now Lucky on point. Nice bit of a duck and a dodge and a dive as he managed to find one and nip out while the get is good. Nelson goes down next. This is a solid hold. Powerful shots from Lucky. That hipfire comes through. Now, only 180 points away from Streaks. A nice turn of events here for Heretics.
This is where you're begging just to tag someone up and your teammate clean them up, and you're shouting at them, bait for me, I'm close to Streaks. You know, this is where, you know, the tempo starts to get a little out of control. You know, sometimes the communications can lack a bit, but going back to Nolson, you know, yesterday, I know he's only played 1 series, but his hardpoint KD 1.2, S&D 1, and control 1.14. He fit right in, and I think that was the key thing with Nolson, was he was kind of overshadowed a little bit by Temp and Aqua, who had phenomenal series, but he himself held his own, so I'm excited to see more from him. But Heretics taking the lead, and a nice one of that, 30 points.
Indeed it is. They do have pretty solid control. They've managed to force the players out of blue side now. The tables will now turn over towards the orange pipes. Lucky's up front. He's going to find nothing so far, but backs on up. Great use of, you know, great comms now from Heretics. We've heard the listen-ins, we've heard that frantic communication, and it looks like we're about to get themselves that hellstorm any second now. 6 kills in a row for Lucky. If he can find another one, that'll be it. Perfect position to be in now, just try to bait these players on the way through, but it's a powerful attack. It's a very, very decisive attack coming through from Splyce, and Lucky, he's still good. He finds 2. He's going to get himself Streaks, but he will go down. Splyce with a hard point.
Splyce obviously came out with a big win yesterday. They'll be running on a bit of a high themselves, you know, going into this series. But Heretics are a team that we've seen time and time again win these hard points and win them convincingly. 4 players do go down for Heretics. 12 seconds left, and it looks like scrap time and rotation is going to be won by Splyce here. So this is where we're going to see the War Machine, the specialist, come in. We've got a set of streaks for Lucky, but Temp finds himself 2, and I think it was actually Joe in the previous cast who was talking about the Tempest and talking about, you know, 2-3 kills is a successful one. I think if you can pick up 2, stay alive, pick up some points for your team as well, certainly is paying dividends. Temp is going to get the lightning strike here.
Still good. Sukri just gets it done with the ICR, and we saw what he did there with the War Machine. It's not flashy, it's not complicated, but it is crucial, and it takes a fantastic brain and tremendous skill to really call those plays out and make that work. Timing was on point. Temp lighting up the kill feed, but Metals, he's now answering back. And again, Heretics have actually managed to continue this outslay upon Splyce. They've got the kills department. Now the War Machine comes out the TAC 5 as well, as Journey and Methods now work their way on through the next rotation. 3 members of Splyce hitting back orange pipes, and the gunfight's going to ensue, and it looks like it may actually be Splyce on top. They have managed to get 2 players through. Lucky's going to do what he can to hold on to the reinforcements, because the gunfight's not over yet. Here comes Metals.
Yeah, for a weird second we had a TAC 5 and a War Machine out, but it was some crazy types of pinch the place for Splyce. The back of the map just needed to stay alive, and that's what they're doing. But Metals, he's a lone wolf. He's on his own. He's trying to take down the whole army that Splyce is right now. It's not going to work here, as we do see them take back control, and this is a very close game. This is a hard point, which honestly I was very excited for, and this is the reason why. It's high impact, it's very fast paced, and it is a lot of kills going either way here. But just a quick refresher, Nolson, obviously newcomer 8 and 14, he's going to want to step that up, but plenty of time to do so. I said this to yourself, Miles, off stream yesterday. We had a nice day off, but every single hard point, you look at Temp and you see the same figures every time. Whether it's 12 and 8, whether it's 15 and 10, he's always performing, always putting these numbers up. Is it going to equal the victory today?
I mean, it has to. You're putting up these numbers, your team's not winning, something's going wrong. Aqua now on your screen. Purifier at the ready. A popular hard point to use it here is the first. Metals is going to find what he can in the back here. And again, he's had a solid game so far at 18 and 15. Powerful kills, good timing, but again, Is it going to be enough? Heretics are going to get the final few moments, but it is actually, they're going to get over towards the next hard point as well. They're going to make the charge through top. They've actually managed to get straight past you, but Nolson's coming in from behind. He's managed to spawn a little late in. The gunfights are going down up top, and in the back end, Slam comes through once more for Jerd, and that's going to buy a little bit more time. Tempest keeps Jerd on his feet for the time being, and there we go. Splyce, Specialist invested. Slam comes through, Tempest comes out. They are going to hold.
Oh, Tempest going left, right, and missing the shots there from Looney. Not the best, but he's just trying to hold them off here. Temp from behind is only going to find one. Shut down once again by Heretics. We could have another lead change here, Miles. 146 to 147. Heretics now battling back, taking over, and looking to take map 1 by the scruff of his neck. 15 seconds left, though. Rotation has settled in. Sukri a little bit ahead of this. Splyce, look at the way they're kind of dispersed over the map. They're rotating back. They're going to take top mid control. We know how important that is. And then Aqua, potentially a pinch here. But Specialist check across the board. It does look like Sukri and Methods are the ones closest to it. You could see a vision pulse coming through soon.
Yeah, huge to Sukri to win the gunfights in the back there. Now the top, though, it's just been all Splyce. Journey, the last one left. That was an incredibly decisive break. 4-man over the top, they clean it up, and then they take care of the men on the flank. That's big. Here come more. Aqua and Jerd, the wombo combo. Jerd for now streaks, that's 25. He doesn't get the Hellstorm, but Nolson sitting at 240 as well. My. Splyce could be picking up an additional set of streaks here.
I like this from Nolson. You've just seen him get off the Harping. Even though your teammate's just gotten a Lightning Strike, he's playing for his Lightning Strike now. He's playing to get one bullet in, and his teammate cleaning him up, but he's going to be charged. He finds another 100 away. All he needs is an assist, and that's going to be the first. Can he find the second? No, but another Lightning Strike in the bag. You see Jerd utilizing his. Nolson's going to have his for a rainy day, and it's always the same for Temp. 25 and 15. He is absolutely killing it. A quick stat from, Temp himself, legitimately being #1 on the respawn damage per minute since his very first match of the Pro League began. This man has not stepped off the pedal. He's got his second War Machine. You know that game where you're calling out, you've got to pull Flak Jacket out for your teammates. He's getting it twice a game, and it just seems so easy.
It does seem so easy, and again, it doesn't quite work out this time. As Sukri, it's high voltage there on the hard point. 40 seconds left. And Heretics have actually managed to break that very well, despite Temp's War Machine being out and about. No trophies, just the Flak Jacket to get them through that spell of bad weather. Temp finds 2, though, on the retake, and immediately, it's so clean, it's so decisive, it's so Splyce. Gearing up now for the next push. The shots are coming through. That's powerful work from Jerd. Aqua on the wings, taking care of those players down range. And now we've got Nolson somehow still alive, still good. Seems to have fit into this squad, no problem. The rotates come through. Temp's going to be spawning out back. Looney's watching the pipes, and here we go. Splyce looking to close out map 1 right here.
And let's not forget, Nolson had a slow start at around 7 and 14. He's really turned that game around. I think everyone right now currently stands positive for Splyce. You got a +4 for Aqua. Temp +11. Nolson 2. Looney dead even, and Jerd with a +3. They're looking to close it out. They're holding the spawns, and the trades are immaculate coming in from Splyce there. This is such a tough ask for Heretics now. They know they need to push it. They know they need to contest, but they're going to have to do it from the front.
Oh, here we go. Aqua's the first line of defense. He drops. There's been a slight exchange. One member of Heretics in the front line is going to be lucky. He dodges, he ducks, he dives, he dies to the hands of Jerd. And now, the final few moments for Splyce here on this hard point. The Purifier is up and out from Aqua. He's going to lock down the corridor, and he's going to be extinguished. That's it. Temp, he's up next on the front line. Shots through on Lucky. They've got a few more points for the win. Splyce can get this done. Nolson out in mid-map, just cutting off the reinforcements. There's no way Heretics are making this hard point. The final 5 for the win. Splyce, they have absolutely slammed this one shut, and they will get it done. What a map 1 from Splyce.
Incredible stuff once again. Everyone's kind of eyes are on Nolson, who puts up a fantastic game, but outshined by Temp and Aqua. I think there was a +7 and a +12 in and amongst the two there, but communication after the game. Interesting when you see someone kind of vocalizing, maybe what the problem is or something after the game, but Temp, always that type of player just to kind of get his thoughts and emotions out straight away, and surely you think they're positive right now. They're picking up wins, you can see he's smiling. This must be good vibes.
It has to be. We think of the last week and the situation they're in where they were losing series they really shouldn't have, and you see, we pan across those 5 faces, they're very glum, they're very sad. It's tough scenes for them, but Nolson has obviously injected a sign of life into Splyce that they sorely needed. It must be tough for him though, because like it's not like Nolson has like a direct line of communication to like Looney, to Aqua, to Tem, to like start forming like any kind of camaraderie, any kind of chemistry outside of the game. It's basically just Jerd, who's like his mate from Europe.
And I think it's that bond as well. You know, you have a bond with a player which you've teamed with for 3-4 months or 2 events or whatever it is. He's just been chucked in at the deep end with players that he's probably played against on a stage or 2, but he's never sat with them, he's never played with them, you know, felt that communication. So he's adapting very well. Obviously, cast your eyes to the top left, you can see the slaying side of Splyce is fantastic. Everyone putting in a shift as well. One thing I want to point out, Nolson's actual objective time, 114 seconds at this very point. A lot of time on the hill for that man himself, but I feel like he's fitting the role so well, and you know, the pieces of the puzzle, they're all starting to come together, Miles.
Yeah, it really does. The final few moments of this hard point here, and again, you start to see that confidence developing there for Splyce as they surge forward. You can see that mid-map presence start developing. It comes from Nolson. They're trying to catch these players before they can even get involved in the fight, and you know, you can see that chemistry coming through as Looney starts to get involved, and this is just really where Splyce start to shine. The chemistry, the teamwork. Temp called it. He said that they've, you know, made the game themselves. Either way, here comes the chat from Jess. Jess, what did the players have to say before the start of the matchup?
Thank you, Miles. Yeah, well, first I talked with Temp, and we mostly chatted about Nolson, and he told me that Nolson brings some nice pre-aim, some nice finesse, and that overall he's just a great player. But he did also add, of course, with just 1 win down, it is too early to tell whether Nolson is kind of the answer to all of their problems. Here versus Heretics, he said we're 0-2 versus them, so he goes, me personally, I really want to beat them because it's annoying to always lose to the same people. Over on the side of Heretics, I caught up with Lucky, and he actually surprisingly was not feeling as good coming off of the win as I was expecting. He said, yeah, we feel good, but not that good. He explained the S&D, or the first S&D rather, was just a big disappointment and says that they're constantly underperforming on control, so that's kind of their main focus going forward here. And also versus Splyce, he said, well, the first 3 maps are frequency, so it's going to be an aggressive series. It kind of comes down to who can get that momentum first, and they can probably just snowball with it and run, so we'll see where the rest of the series turns out. Miles and Momo, back over to you.
Snowball with it and run, they will have to do, and so far it looks like the ball is in Splyce's court after map 1. Still, I mean, you can turn it around, right?
Right? Certainly can, and I will say, last 2 games for Heretics, and I understand why Lucky's not too happy. They've both been game 5s, they've both been wins, which is great, obviously, from the week before. You know, we were seeing losses and L's all over the place, but you're closing games out in game 5. It reminds me of reciprocity when these guys just couldn't get a 3-1 or a 3-0 to their name. Now, that was against Denial and Elevate. Now you're going up against Splyce, who have this kind of new fire, maybe this honeymoon period. We talk about a little bit of steamroll and momentum, if you like. Splyce have that right now. Coming into the Search and Destroy, again, Heretics have been pushing these series, Miles, on the hard points. They've been winning those hard points. They've actually been losing maps 2 and 3. And that's the worrying thing right now.
Splyce is certainly going to hurt them on the Search. I mean, that seems to be a given. I don't know, but the Control seems to be the map that they're struggling with the most. Lucky said it so in that interview himself, and Splyce are going to punish you hard. Even with this new Nolson, they're still going to push you, and they're still going to capitalize on your mistakes. Still, we're staying on frequency, mates. I'm sure you love frequency, and if you don't after this series, well, there's probably something deeply wrong with you. Search and Destroy underway. Temp with snipe. Suku with the early shots, going to push him back. Strong position now from Heretics as they make their way through you on the A defense, but however the bomb is going to be, it's a good read from Looney. They managed to get bottom mid, they managed to get through the hail of gunfire from the front end, and Temp, obviously glaring confidence as he stands out in top mid. Like, he could have been shot from the guy. You there, he could have been pressured at that point, but no drama. Aqua finds a nice shot. Translates the information from Temp as he plays. Oh, actually, no, he doesn't actually hit the bottom. So Temp's going to have to contend with 2 players coming through mid. No worries, man. With the RK7 at that range, Temp's going to put him down. 4v2 right now. Splyce, what around?
And interestingly enough, look at the bomb, and then look where Temp's kind of drifted off to. He's been looking for these players, hunting them down. He's going to find himself another, and this round should be all done. It looks like Medals will take his own life, and round number 1 would go to Splyce. The one thing I wanted to watch was Nolson on Search and Destroy and where he fits in. It looks like he's kind of posting up, and we saw yesterday he was sniping. The desk highlighted that for you as well. But he's looking to go down B, maybe stick at the back of his teammates. We saw that on the hard point as well, and that's why he had so much hard point time. You know, he nearly had 2 minutes himself, and it's nice to see. It's refreshing to see, and it was a real tough decision, I think, for Splyce to replace someone like Accuracy, who has won championships, back-to-back championships. you know, so many accolades kind of under his belt, to with someone like Nolson, who even he won't deny, like, he doesn't have that. He doesn't have that experience. He's got to fill those shoes. They're very, very big shoes to fill. And obviously, I think Temp also hit it on the head when he said it's just been too early to tell.
Yes, indeed. Still round by round, map by map. We will see. Looney now, the last player left alive, as a lovely flurry of kills comes through for Heretics. He had a very, very delayed start to this map. That timing gifts him his life for a while until Lucky snatches it away and ties up the search 1-1. For me, the weirdest thing about Nolson is, of all the players to choose as your substitute, of all the wealth of talent in North America, of all the, you know, brilliant AMs who are out there, Nolson for me was always an interesting pick. And you have to put that down to, like, well, Jerd would have made that call. They would have seen something in the PLQ, Splyce would have, in him. And to really take that kind of gamble when there are so many good players out there right now.
There's a lot of good players, and again, you know, making that decision of who your sixth man is as hard as making who's your fourth and fifth, you know, who's in the main team. And I think, it comes down to a lot of natural skill, but also the ability to kind of step up at any moment, and they clearly saw something in Nolson, and already he's showing his worth here. He's found himself another kill this round, and Temp's going to use that RK7 like it's a primary at this given stage, but Lucky, last alive, 4v1. Doesn't look like he's looking to jump off straight away, looking to take someone down. Got the extended mag on the RK, which does mean he's got 24 bullets, and he's going to find himself a shot punch battle, and unfortunately for him, that's with Jerd, and Jerd, pretty good at him.
Nobody does it better.
You're seeing people get better and better and better. But it was funny because in previous titles, you know, we're talking 2, 3, 4, 5 years ago, Jerd has always been fantastic at that melee. You know, it's only this year that the whole quote-unquote shot punch has kind of come into the meta, which I think definitely suits his play style, because he was always that type of player, up close, in your face. 2-1, Splyce.
So Lucky Snipe can find this round. There's a lot of targets trapped around the corner. Teammate's going to find the shots. I think two of his teammates have just charged straight across him, and they're, well, actually, Metals is going to do fine. Temp finds a grenade kill on a Lucky there with that snipe, so that's going to eliminate that from play for the time being. Sukri now moving off of his position from top mid. Could potentially hit these players through middle. That's great timing. Aqua, sorry, mate. See you in the next round. 4v2 now for Splyce, and it's interesting how these rounds have gone. It's been a complete blowout, followed by a complete blowout, followed by
a Jerd shot punch.
Jerd shot punch.
2v3 still very, very difficult here, but Jerd and Temp, two players which, you know, can maybe pull off a miracle here, because the bomb's down, they're fully set up, they're in tradable positions, they're very, very close. For them to pick up these 3 kills is extremely difficult.
It's going to get harder. Temp's going to have to find one straight off the rip. It's great shots. Does help. This is a great trade. Splyce. 2v1 situation. This positioning is actually fantastic. Jerd is making it work. Splyce with the 2v3.
I wanted to emphasize extremely difficult. Didn't seem too difficult, and I don't really want to kind of punish Heretics too much, but that bait and switch, that was incredible. Jerd was just bobbing and weaving back and two. Temp had his back. If there's one player you want to be looking over you, it is this man right now. Picks up the first. Jerd gets tagged from the left and from the front here. He has to just hide in this little nook and cranny, but sliding on forward. He finds one, dips out, and Method's jumping that round the corner is like, wait, Jerd's not weak? He's like, nah, that's Temp.
That's Temp. That's hard, man. I mean, you push that player. I think it was Method's the last one. He was on the inside pipes. Temps gets a shot in him. Jerd pushes him. And then they both focus their attention to the player on the outside. They know that the stim shot's going to come through. You've got like a second and a half to make that kill on the outside work. That I would be watching that clip back for a long time, friends. That's how you retake a site.
I mean, 2 out of the 3 kills were team shots, you know, and you've only got 2 players. They played it perfectly. They both bait and switched it, and I'll tell you what, if you're looking to learn how to be a cohesive player and team, there you have it. 3-1. As it currently stands, 60 seconds. As 30 seconds flies by, no one actually fallen just yet. Shot punch comes in. Journey takes down Looney, traded out by Nolson, currently rocking the Maddox, and that bomb's being rotated around in the hands of Jerd. KN does connect, but that could be a frag coming straight back at him.
There it comes. Method nails it. 4v3 right now. It's if the respawns weren't dangerous enough. Temp's sitting at 7-1 so far. Metal's out the back with that Sorg. Not the greatest position to be in, but he's the only player who's there to watch it for the time being. Oh, he doesn't see that player in pipes. The bomb's going to be going down. There's the shots. The damage was there, but no kills. So now Metals is going to back up, needs the reinforcements to come through. And this is a great position for Heretics to be in with the numbers. 2 players hit the back. A kill on Nolson would be huge. 2 players hit the front. That Lucky gets it. The nade from Jerd comes through. He's going to buy him a little bit of time. He's almost got streaks with that as well. Here comes the play. Heretics, it's just a dog pile onto the bomb. Temp's the last player left alive. No streaks coming through, and for Jerd. Finally, we see some success go the way of Heretics, and that... I mean, they could have messed it up. It could have gone wrong. But they managed to buckle up and get that done. It's going to be 3-2 after that.
Yeah, it was well done from Heretics. I feel like the grenade was unfortunate not to connect or at least damage a couple of players from Jerd, but it was the individual 1v1. I think it was down low between Looney and a player, which really kind of solidified the round for Heretics there. But you can't clutch them all. And Heretics, like I said before, they push teams. That was the 1v1. It was against Nolson, sorry, correct myself. And it wasn't a 1v1. It was the player dropping down. And again, Search and Destroy now being 5v5, it's so important to be having those 2v1s, to have those numbers and have those gunfight advantages all the time.
Again, you can't rule Heretics out. Never.
Never.
Never. Here we go into the 6th round. 2 through mid, 2 hitting A. Lucky though, if they overextend, he could find something out of that one. The bomb's going to be in top orange window. Oh, Nolson just about. Hands the snipe over to Temp. From Temp, sorry. This is tense. Eyes on 2 players there at you. We could see a shuffle now from Splyce. Is it enough, though? They haven't quite bit the bait. They've jangled the worm there. They've dangled those players. Yeah, you saw something. So now, who's going to get eager? Who's going to make the first mistake?
Oh, there's the first mistake, but all the mistake is he needs to aim a little higher. Hit markers are not fun. I know how you feel.
Looney stunned up, desperately trying to retreat. Oh, here they come. It's an execution from Metals. Nolson and Temp now hitting the back as quickly as they possibly can. And this is a great position from Nolson. Temp finds his kill as well, 3v3.
20 seconds left. Really doable, however. It's rotation, rotation, rotation right now. Number 3, though, it's going to be Temp. Temp's going to surely see them. Oh, but he's got the RK7. No sniper here. Potential shot punch coming in. Traded out, and it's going to go in favor of Heretics this time. Nolson versus 2. It'll be a technical 1v3, and with a sniper, probably not the best weapon, but a stim shot finds himself 1 with the Sorg. But again, credit to Heretics. They push as a unit, and that unit was only too strong. And 2, I mean, in the numerical sense there, it was just pushing together, sticking together, and playing those numbers.
It's vintage Heretics. That we saw them do it so well at the start of Black Ops 4, and see how quickly these trades get picked up. I mean, the stim's not even done, and Nolson's on the ground.
And Nolson as well, probably one of the players which Heretics, when going home, scrims against. It's quite interesting when you think about it. The scrim practice is not always there, but I bet Nolson, if anyone knows Heretics, pretty well.
I guess they play him in almost what seems like their downtime. Round 7. Oh my, Journey, careful, mate. Yep, there you go. It may not have been lucky, Sniper, but it was Nolson's. Sukri ties it up immediately by taking out Jerd, so now it's a 4v4. And again, here we have that pressure towards A. Nolson loves to take that Paladin top mid, loves to be aggressive with it, and I like it. However, Metals does not like it. Gets that kill, and we make our way forward into a 3v3. I mean, could we finish this on a 1v1? Who knows? The rate we're going. 3 members now of Heretics top mid, making the aggressive play forward. Lucky a little too slow to the trigger there, but he's got teammates, and here we go. Heretics on the charge. Nile, they have the advantage. Aqua's got the bomb. He does have that bomb site and the KN to work with. How long's it going to work for? Because Metals up over the top, skins him alive. Temp now on his own.
Thought he was taking a dive then for a second, and maybe he should have. Aqua behind that bomb, by the way. I don't think the player, whoever took him down, didn't miss a bullet with that Maddox. It was a quick slide jump and 4 straight in the chest.
It was Metals. Here we go. I mean, that's not an easy gunfight to win.
It's extremely difficult to win, especially against someone like Aqua. But another round going to Heretics.
You kind of feel like maybe the KN at that distance was just a little too close. You know, the KN is not God's gift to the assault rifles yet, friends. Still has that sweet spot where the Maddox still gets it. Too close with the Maddox, too far with the ICR, and it's not quite enough. There we go. Temp gets out while the Git is good, and he's not going to be dropped just yet, but that's a quick reshuffle there from Splyce. Oh my God, do it. Just crawl a little bit. Give it to him. Wow. Fast reactions, even faster trigger fingers. Lucky though on the flank. What a flank from Lucky. The Spanish sandwich comes through and yummy, yummy. Jared though, doesn't want to have any of it. Answers back, 2v2 right now, 30 seconds left. The nade comes through, it is gonna kill that member of Splyce. 25 on the clock. Here we go.
Still plenty of time. Frag goes out, doesn't connect. And Joe's gonna do the exact same, slide on past, and it's a bait and switch. Very, very deja vu, it seems over here, and it's Jerd once again in and amongst that, and he seems to have that down to a T. You know, when you're getting shot by pipes, just slide on past, bait it out. Temp's happy with that one, and so he should be. His teammates either side of him there, Jerd and Aqua, cleaning things up, winning that crucial round. It is always so important. Again, 5-3, 4-4, two worlds apart, it seems. But Lucky, I think you got a little excited because I thought he was going to find this third. That play was so weak. One bullet, I think, would have done it.
Oh, and if that bullet gets where it needs to be, if that delivery reaches its destination, that'd have been a very different round altogether. Nonetheless, we're at 4-4 here in the 9th. You got to get, I mean, that's definitely, I would watch that one back. We'll talk to Marky B after this one. Maybe that's a Splyce play. The way Jerd hits those pipes, the way he gets covered, they know what they're doing there.
It has that little bit of an angle on the wall where you kind of hide yourself from both the right and the left, but don't worry, guys. I got my notepad ready. I'm learning.
I'm hitting league play after this. Yo, Phil, cover me. I'm dead. Oh, cheers, mate. That's what it's going to be tonight. You know it. You know it. Here we go. Looney, super aggressive. He does have Nolson to back him up. Holy moly, Nolson. Jerd's there as well. Yeah. You get the bomb down, and they rip you up. Great trades. Playing the lives. 3v2 right now. Heretics are high. They're super isolated. That EMP is going to give them all the information they need. Nolson's going to slide through, but the rest of the boys are here, and the boys are back in town. Splyce looking to take the 9th round. Oh, cracked aim comes out from Nolson there. It's rubbing off from Donny Temp.
Nolson must be feeling really good. And again, you asked me before, Miles, how it must feel kind of jumping into a team like that. How does it feel when you have a round like this? When, you know, you're surrounded by players like Temp and Looney and all 4 of them, but you pick up 2, you go back, you finalize the lash, you win the round, you're picking up snipes here and there. He's performing, and I know he's got a little group back home as well. And I think it's very European in the sense that you see one of our players kind of jump into a North American and you're rooting for him to do well. Here he is on the main stage, dropping double digits, 10-7 right now. So far, so good here. Is this the last round? Does Splyce go 2-0 up? Do we see a round 11? Aqua opens up the account with 1.
Oh, Temp. Here comes the reinforcements. Temp's going to back down. Aqua's got his flank covered. Temp's just posted up now that ICR is still going to get the job done up close. And Temp's going to trade. That's good enough. Looney comes in at the right time. 4v2. Heretics. Maps 2 and 3 aren't always great. And
that's
now
GG.
That's GG, and now we go into control. And now Heretics, this is it. It's do or die time for them. Splyce, take map 2.
Nolson, cool as a cucumber. He's just sat on the end, there's no real emotion. It's like, yep, 2-0 up, no big deal. Everything is A-OK, as Marky B and Legend will get on the stage and have a chat with his team.
Well, there we have it, a somewhat deflated Heretics struggle in map 2. The execution from Splyce on point. The new kid on the block, Nolson, putting up big digits. Temp, though, bringing home the bacon. Here we go into the control, friends. Coming up next.
The Call of Duty World League is presented by PlayStation 4, the official platform of the CWL, Astro Gaming, the official headset and mix amp of the CWL, and Republic of Gamers, the official monitor of the CWL.
Champ Game Fuel. Level up the game.
Hello and welcome back to the Call of Duty World League. Splyce versus Heretics. It's 2-0, friends. 2-0 to Splyce. Heretics looking somewhat deflated, somewhat defeated already, as our coaches impart their final little nuggets of wisdom upon those players on the stage, our gladiators, our knights, if you will. We almost get ready to roll into this one. It is going to be a control, and it is going to be a frequency. Again, we talked to us about 3 frequencies back-to-back, fast-paced series already, and it's going pretty fast because, let's face it, Splyce are running the show.
Yeah, frequency control, again, they seem so strong. They seem really kind of well-rounded in the sense that, you know, control, you add someone to the mix, and it's not really changing Splyce. You know, it's making sure, yes, Temp's still firing on all cylinders, and the sides are still going their way, but Heretics, you know, how do they get back into this? How do Heretics really get into this even series? They've got to go back. They've got to remember that the push game 4, the push game 5, time and time again, they can do it to Splyce. They have to find the holes within this team.
Yeah, there's going to be holes, and they can definitely get it done. However, the way that Splyce is playing right now, Nolson in the mix, things are looking up. Temp's doing exactly what Temp needs to do, and again, Heretics is very tough for them to come back from this kind of deficit mentally. But hey, man, if anyone could do it, the Spanish can. Already off to a solid start. Jerd trying to get what he can done. Methods is going to get it done on the outside of the map. Lucky pushes the players back from the door, and now Aqua's left in no man's land with no teammates, not a hope in hell, just a KN to his name. And now he's dead.
KN is what's going to put him to bet on that one, and it's a great opener here for Heretics, and for the first time ever, Miles, we saw a perfect round. United coming out on top. It was only a matter of time till that happened, but as we introduce this control, he's gone. It's done. The time is now 2 minutes and 15 seconds. Heretics have 28 lives to play with here. Oh, Splyce going to be able to hold. Strong Journey's trying to battle away, get away, find a stim shot, find a hope for prayer. Shut down by Methods.
Whoa, Methods finds the second. And here we go. Metals, you're up next. And these shots are great. He kills Nolson. Looney's going to get it done, though. And this is honestly sterling work so far from Heretics. They've been very critical of their own performances in the control maps. And this is absolutely fine. If you ask me, there's 75 points, now 50 from streaks there for Methods. And we talked about consistency. This man has managed to find it. Test towards B. Great play there from Lucky up top to clean up Temp. Solid position to be in. I curse like a sailor when I get killed in that position, and sadly a team kill comes through, but 21-15. Heretics, this opening round has been great.
So far so good, but 5 lives down. Splyce certainly not out of this. If they get a hold of this zone, start to push forward, maybe a couple spawn kills, they're certainly still in with it as well. Everyone connecting left, right, and center here. Trades galore, which is only favoring Heretics. You see 17-10 now. The life advantage does go in favor of them, but again, it can change very, very quickly. That time is ticking. 3 ticks is all you need. The first is in. The second is coming. And Splyce, they know it. They've got to charge. They've got to go, but taken down one by one. Nolson, Aqua, Looney, and Temp. They're going to be 10 lives in the negative, and surely that is round number 1. You can hear the passion coming from Heretics. Splyce caught off guard in round 1.
Was it a let's go or was it a vamos? Was it a vamos? I've been corrected a few times on that one. What a round from Heretics. That was a rough one for Splyce. Drier than a koala's pooper. Journey manages to find these kills. So fast going forward for Heretics. So decisive in the kills. And Methods, I think he finished that round off at least 7-2 or 6-2. He had a great run. He didn't get streaks, but brilliant, brilliant work from Methods. Methods, he is sick.
Certainly is. You know, this guy gets thrown around everywhere, has to perform, and so far, so good here.
Oh, here we go. Splyce all in on A, and I mean all in. Trophies are up. Jerd's going to get 2 before being dropped. Nolson tries to get in the mix, and Sucre doing what, you know, Aqua did before, is they kind of, you get ready for the push towards B. You kill as many players as you can on the sort of push through that transition to top mid.
Nothing worse than a concussion and you haven't got tac mask. You can put your controller down, go to the toilet, come back, pick it up and be like, guys, didn't make it. No. 27-27, 3 lives lost and a zone as well. Splyce pretty much replicating Heretics' performance and looking potentially for a couple spawn kills here. Looking round, Temp's going to find Sucre, and now it's all go, go, go onto B zone. We're going to have a couple by the pipes left and right. Temp's got to watch his back. They might be pushing through top mid, and that's going to be Journey. And interestingly enough, Lucky and Medals finding all-important kills. Actually, Medals just doing damage. Can he find a third? No, Aqua off the spawn finds one, but it's Methods again with the double. This man certainly finding his feet with a Sorg.
Heretics, they hold firm at B. Tie up the life count. And now Metals. Ooh, Temp saves the day. Just before the dagger was driven into the back there. Here comes the next play. Journey! Lovely shots. Can't get the third. But again, Methods, right place, right time. He goes down to Aqua there, but the contest, it's over. They're going to drain that first tick at B. Minute 30 on the clock, 18 lives for Splyce. How will they hit this? How will they hit the point next? Okay.
See Splyce just losing numbers time and time again. Splyce is struggling here at the B zone. Seeing some strongholds in their own pipes, actually, coming in from Medals and Journey, putting up big numbers as well. And Heretics now have the life advantage. Interesting enough, Journey is going to just combine with one up top. Temp trying to find him and will find the double. That's a big double now to open things up. And what that kind of means is it's almost a 3v5 on point. But Sukri and Medals again fighting from the opposition side. Medals, he's been on fire, and that's why he's putting up these kind of numbers right now. 9 and 6, 4-kill streak. If they're not careful, they're going to start giving him some streaks of his own.
Get out of his way! This is solid work, Heretics. Journey's up. Journey's good, baby. He's all fine. There's a third. Just do it. It's Nolson. Kill him. He finds the third. The 4 remaining members of Splyce now have a very tough ask. There are 10 members of Heretics left, 10 lives. 20 seconds. They can make the contest work. Methods in position. Can't quite kill Temp, nor can Metals, actually. So the 2 of them that are left, number 8 is waiting for that contest at the last possible second if they want to try and do something crazy on this round, but Looney can't get it done. Temp's going to find the kill, but he should just run for it. Can't even make it off the map. Wow. Heretics. Strong, strong round.
Dominating 2 rounds, actually. You know, back to back now. Heretics have made that look so easy. Medals and Journey, who were at this very point that you can see just in and amongst the opposition's pipes. It was just so fluid. You know, the movement was on point. The jiggle peaks were back and forward, and you know, even we saw Journey kind of jumping up top and finding a 3-piece of his own. It was magical stuff, and they're now just 1 round away from pushing this to another hard point.
Wouldn't that be a turn? We criticised the control coming into this one, and rightfully so. Heretics, as they throw away 2 and 3. They win the respawns. If they can win this, they can actually push Splyce. There we go. Nolson opens this one up great. Jerd again, those fantastic entry kills. Looney and Lucky show at this point as they go back and forth, and Sukri can't get it done as Temp is now in your spawn. There we go. This is unprecedented aggression right now from Splyce. Can they capitalize on this one? Journey though, no. That midnight train's going nowhere right now. Oh, there we go. Aqua cleans them up. Gets the second. Great shots. 22-26. Heretics, they lose a few on the opening rip, and this is it. Again, we're seeing that aggression towards A. Now we go. Splyce looking to get in the spawns, Phil. I mean, any second now, it's going to just rip open. Splyce is desperate to get back into this.
Yeah, Jerd's on a huge flank as well, looking for a kill. Oh my goodness, it's Methods again. This guy is certainly turning up with this Sorg, and Aqua has been going at it as well. This round in particular, we saw him at the platform at U as well. And, you know, back-to-back rounds, we've seen, you know, 8 gone within the first 30. This time it was held on by Splyce. Now they've got a 5 life advantage. A tongue twister in itself here, but Nolson will be pushed and pressured himself down by B. He'll be screaming and shouting for the help, but Jerd's actually going to dip on out and savour those lives.
Oof, Metals has very little respect for the lives of Splyce right now as he's cutting through him again. Just welcome to Stunsville, population methods. We'll check back in with him in a moment. I'm sure he's still stunned. Oh my, Metals almost getting that one done. Mounting pressure towards B as the cap continues. Sukri's going to get the kill in the back. Now getting pushed. Aqua, can he get any more out of this when he can't? 3 clean kills from Heretics, going to give him that progress at B. Can they get in on A though? There's a slam ready to go. This could clean it up. Nope, Jerd's going to cut him down just before the kill comes through.
And I don't know whether Heretics at this point, you know, before they killed B just then, we're almost at a point where it's like, we're not investing anything. You know, we're saving this. It doesn't look great for us. Obviously, Splyce have got a lot to play with here, but this is a round which you don't want to invest and lose. If you invest and win and it's for the right reasons, I get it. But this is a round in a position where you don't want to start throwing away specialists. 13-7. Splyce most certainly have that number advantage. They're all over A. They're all over the platform. And basically your own base, but with trades going down, methods. Oh, team kill. That doesn't help anyone.
Well, it's unfortunate, but it's not the end of the world. There are only 5-4 members of Heretics left.
Oh,
better make it 3. The defense has held from Splyce. At 3v11, it's nearly impossible, but Lucky trying to make a flank happen now. He's gone deep. Metals in mid-map. 1v1 would be great. Yep, it'll do for now. Can he get away with his life? Joe's going to make it now a 1v8. Sucre, the last line of defense. The last hope for that 3-0 here in control for Heretics. Yep, there we go. Again, you're right, Phil. If they invest and they lose, that's bad signs. When you look at the specialist now for Splyce, I mean, they've almost got a full house.
Certainly. And the thing is as well, Splyce might be pressured. That's a round. If I'm Heretics, I'm like, we need to put up a fight without using specialists to maybe draw out them to use some of theirs. Because Splyce at that point, you know, if the life got very close, the life lead, it would be, you know, we need to invest. We're at a potential lose the map here. And Heretics, they were in a different situation. They were, if we lose, we've still got all our specialists, we've still got it to play for. Splyce actually held real strong and said, we don't need to invest either. We have control of the map, we have control of the lives, and so they did. Can they win 2 more back-to-back though here? That is the question. We've got pretty much everything available for either team. Journey doesn't have the TAC-5 that was previously used, as was Lucky's War Machine, but so much to play with here.
Yeah, Journey's only halfway, so he could possibly make something happen. Sucre finding 2. Nolson also trying to get in towards his TAC-5. And here we have it. Aqua is a slither away from the vision poles. Get ready, specialist fans. Here they come. We'll see who's going to rip first. Journey, man, he keeps just ripping these members of Splyce up. That's big. 3 kills in a row for him. Make it 2. Take it all back. There's the 3rd before going down. 21-16 for Journey. Brilliant stuff from him.
Yeah, so far so good. Nolson struggling a little bit. Just 9 kills to his name, but certainly Splyce being outslayed. That being coming from round 1 and 2. It was very, very dominant rounds. Temps just found himself his 3rd kill in a row.
Here we go, Metals. Feel that itchy trigger finger looking to hit L1 and R1 at the same time. Maybe L2 and R2. 50 seconds. The contest coming through. Can I get there on time before the cap goes? There it is. Lovely 3 kills. And again, no specialist wasted, no specialist used. We do have a full house now for Splyce.
That was a disgusting little run from Metals then. You start to see why they're in the positions they are. It's crazy how fast they play out.
Wow.
Metals has just found himself a double. Jud was mid-air there. He might have been trying to use his quick check there, and he doesn't. But with 25 seconds, this is where Splyce are going to have to start invested.
Vision Pulse comes through from Splyce, and here we have it. The defense is going to have to hold a tough fight. Jud's ready to go this slam. Again, that counter comes through. It's only 1, but they're on A. They've managed to get in. The kills are coming through now as well. Nolson pops the TAC-5, so now we have that additional HP boost. And this is it. Splyce are looking to make this happen.
They're trying to get both. They're trying to get the second point. Jud's all alone, though. He's not going to get the second tick. This is surely going to be challenged. Jud's just hoping for a kill before he goes down. Doesn't find it. A is going the way of Splyce, but he's going to be challenged left and right. Tempest still available. Nolson, only one with the TAC-5. He's going to be Tempest. It's good night. Sweet dreams for Splyce's. Heretics just made light work of that break. And with 17 seconds, Splyce have 1 more push. But they're getting fried right now by Sucre. And that is going to be all she wrote. War Machine, last-ditch attempt coming in. And Lucky shutting it down with the double. Heretics, their control has been a little bit of a weakness at some stages, but not today. A dominating control round and map here. We will see another hard point. Heretics will get another bite of the cherry.
Whoa. Will they have the cherry, though, Phil? That's the tough one. Splyce, how will this new roster now handle that kind of loss? That was, at times, very decisive. That was a little rough to watch. Could have been a 3-0, really.
It certainly
Honestly,
could.
The specialist usage comes through. And I love the counterplay from Metals. When he saw that grapple come through, he was like, I got this, boys. Like, straight in, slams up. He could have got more than that. You know, again, you could have seen that play developing in a different way, where all 5 of them pushing, and Joe's like, I'll lead the charge, guys. He could have got 5 there, potentially. Like, that was where his mind might have been at. But exciting stuff there from Heretics as they do manage to get themselves back into this series.
Yeah, I mean, it looks good. You know, you asked at the start of the series, how do they find themselves, you know, pushing this? And they have to go back to even, you know, the series this week, 3-2, 3-2, both victories. Can a reverse sweep happen? Absolutely. Is it possible? Yes, but they're coming up against Splyce, a very tough team with a current change in rosters. Heretic, they need to get this momentum rolling. They've been solid at hard points, but they did kind of get bodied on the first one, and I want to see more from them. I want to see more from Lucky, Journey in particular as well. They're kind of the shining stars at some stages, but Methods for me, along with Medals, you know, they've been putting kills on kills on that kill feed, and we see Methods with the Sorg, different role, but he's performing so well so far. Frequency's done. No more frequency.
Frequency trilogy has now come to a close. Arsenal coming up next. Talking about Methods as well, it's like we saw him running that grapple, and the Desperate up, I believe it was Ant, saying that those crucial kills, that, you know, you can throw away plays, you can throw away lives with bad grapples, and we've all been there.
Yeah.
And when you make a bad one, it's like, okay, cool, I didn't get any entry kills out of that one, I didn't do much. I think it's a really crucial role to have for a team. Every team needs a very solid Ruin player, you know.
Absolutely.
And we've seen, you know, teams find great success when they do manage to work out, you know, who should be running Ruin, who's got the kind of brain for that one, who knows the, you know, the kind of the flow, the timing of the game really well. And for me, one of my favorite Ruin players to watch is still Karma. You know, and he runs like a KN with his Ruin. It's not necessarily like the Sorg players you see like an Abizi coming through, or it's very different. It's just that you have that player who's just got this certain style, this certain, you know, attitude to finding entry frags, finding those, you know, fast rotates even of using it. It's just, it's a super effective tool that you really have to utilize well. It's exciting to see different styles and different players using it, but it's definitely working out for Heretics right now. I mean, that's transformed Methods' game by not having it.
Yeah.
It's almost a burden for him.
Certainly has made things interesting for Heretics, and I actually came into this series thinking this could be a 3-0 in favor of Splyce, and it certainly could have been, but again, Heretics, you know, show what they're made of, and make no team kind of just roll over on them. They make every team fight, and with a 3-1 victory coming in for map number 3, do they really change things over on the momentum side of things? Do they take the Arsenal? Do they push that Hacienda Search and Destroy? Last 2 times this week alone, they've come out on top of game 5s. Splyce again, they've been up and down. If Splyce lose 2 back-to-back and go into a game 5, I'm sure they won't be feeling too pleased about that one. But Arsenal Hardpoint, both pretty good at the map. Both have positive records as it currently stands going into this, but Splyce a little bit better.
Again, for Splyce right now, it's tempestuous times where, like, they need a win, man. They need these wins, especially with Nolson on the squad. It's too soon to call problem solved. Not out of the woods just yet. Here comes the openers onto the hard point. Map number 4. Temps ICR finds 2, a potential around the corner, but he's going to be pinched in a great way there. Heretics have managed to deal the damage. They have managed to find the hard point. Repositioning now from Splyce in their second wave. Great kills there from Joe, the Maddox in hand as he makes his way forward. Hitting back food. He's going to have players all around him. The cover fire comes through. Nolson's managed to get himself into the windows. If he can get a kill out of this one, that'd be fantastic, and it is so far. Splyce, great job on the entry. Nolson, that playthrough window really helped out. He manages now to get himself on the board 1-1. Heretics, though, with the opening time was great, but the rotate's going down now. This next battle crucial for that hardpoint control.
Still weird seeing Jerd actually with a Maddox in his hand, but back to the Sorg. That feels much better here. And we are going to see Splyce just take the lead here, but plenty of time still on the clock. So the opener has gone by, and it's pretty much all even. Let's not forget the importance of the match as well. Splyce currently sat 8-8 on Division B. Heretics 10-6. So again, if Splyce come up here and take the win, they'll be 9-8. Heretics will be 10-7. So close in the standings. Currently, Heretics are in 3rd, Splyce in 4th. So again, important just to kind of keep that in mind as well.
Wow, that was such a crucial kill from Metals there. Stops Temp getting streaks. Methods is now on point. 30 seconds left. This is a solid break. Now, okay, it's over. Looney and Aqua show up, and they've just doused the flames of the Spanish. Temp's trying to contest this one, and you can see that play from Heretics was looking so good. It was all right, but not enough. Sukri with a nice 3, a 4 for Sukri. Gonna get that final 10 seconds, and boy, was it exciting, but it's only 10. Joe's lining up for next. He's got the 2 players pushing him now as we go over to the next hard point. Methods #1, making his way in through vents as well. See how the timing of this attack works out for Heretics.
Yeah, just trying to peek there and find some more medals, though. Giving him inch, he'll take a mile. We're going to see one player go down, that by the vents. And now the push starts. We do see Splyce with the advantage here, but Contest is going to come through. Next wave of kills, very, very crucial. We do see Splyce come out on top, and so they should. They've got the better positioning. They have the spawns, and that's going to be 4 down for Heretics. They're going to be spawning over by the gun as well. So with 30 seconds left, you maybe want to push this once more here, but rotation is very important towards gun.
Looney gets taken care of there in lobby. Now we have that open lane for Heretics to fly through. Nolson, he's up next. And he's ready. So they've got what it takes to hold this one. Nolson just gets cleaned up there, and Metals is going to win the fight up front. The rotation's going down as well, but the final 15 will go towards Heretics. No one really there to test. As long as Journey can stay alive, he's going to get that time. He was getting pressured by a few members of Splyce there for the final play, but top gun here is completely covered by Splyce.
Jerd just tucking himself away in a corner. He's going to find himself an easy kill. Not the second, though. Medals there to trade things out. Splyce have control now. And the rotation does go in their favor, but pushing on through. Journey finds one, trying to find one through the window as well, but he's going to be charged. Shot punch comes through. Nolson answers back, though, with another kill. Headshot after headshot for Nolson. Back to back here as he slides on in. Who's there to help him out? It's none other than Looney and Splyce really working as a team here, really pushing, and the trades are so nice.
That's incredible to push Sukri back off that power position. That green box there, watching window, is such an important spot to be looking to holding this hard point. He gets flooded out immediately. The rest of Splyce show up. Temp's War Machine, it doesn't do a huge amount, but it's enough to get these players off of the hard point. Man, Splyce, this is looking like a 3-1 at this point. Just the way they've taken this hard point by the scruff. Nolson, final few moments for him. Journey's going to be the first player to hit that back. Number 8 is going to be Jerd in a 1v1 right now for the back here. Jerd, the Irishman. We find a second. Oh, baby. We are going to see the hard point go into the hands of Heretics for the time being, but Splyce, look at those orange, look at those arrows. Here they come. They're going to slither their way straight into this one. Jerd up over the top, avoids the doorway, cover fire. There we have it. What a break. They've got kills still to be found there, but the positioning from Splyce is supreme right now. Jerd, what a run this is. That's his 3rd. There's a 4th around the corner if he wants it, but I must admit,
my head hurts.
Heretics are still holding.
My head hurts watching Jerd play. But Heretics, they do hold on. With 25 seconds, a lot of time to game right now. Jerd clearly on another level right now. He's starting to really push things back. Temp again, just dropping his standard 1.5. There's no other difference in hardpoint. It's standard for him, and he's showing here in the score as well. 30 points is how Splyce lead. They are going to get the scrap time, but we know this hill, this middle hill, bit of a money hill sometimes when it comes to the second and third rotation. First, not so much, but the TAC 5 has been invested.
You're right, it's so different when, you've got an early rotate, you've lined up in all the doorways, you've actually got a hold on this hard point, as opposed to when you just butting heads. Jerd, can he continue that magical run he had earlier? Metals, here he goes. Great slide, 1v1 against Jerd. It's just whose hip fire is finer. Journey, he takes down Temp actually to find 2 there on point, and Heretics, they need more than this. They need a lot more than this in the respawns. Splyce, 150 broken. There's 30 seconds left here. We are seeing the gunfight now, being won from the outside there by Heretics. They are fighting forward. They're not going to let this go quietly into the night. Here comes the play from Vent as well. Metals starting to get into the mix. Jerd.
He hasn't stopped. I've been watching him for on the mini-map, and obviously when he's been on our screen, and he hasn't stopped since that middle rotation. 17 and 9. We see Methods only found himself 5 kills. You really see the difference in Sorgs, when someone is comfortable. Methods has actually been playing really well, and this is probably his first hiccup of the series, but we see medals combined for 2, and that's going to be the slam. The 30-point lead, though, Miles, now turned into a 60-point lead. A break here, and Splyce, they can shut this series down.
How are we going to do this, Splyce? 4 up top. It's going to be a 5 push. Jerd's got slam. He can hit that back. I mean, over the top right now would be insane, but the play from Temp, he'd just come right out of that little L shape, the L bend, cut those players down. Now they're pressuring the back line. The spawns are great for Heretics. You can see those reinforcements getting into the fight very, very quickly, but now you've got the top position for Splyce. They've completely retaken this one seemingly effortlessly. Jerd will find another kill. 20 and 10 for the Irishman.
Yeah, it's mad. to see what he's done on this map alone. He's for the first time outshining Temp, and that's saying something. Temp still 23 kills, 15 deaths, but slaying side of things, I think I said it on the first hard point where everyone was positive. You've only got a couple of them. I think it's just Looney actually, -3, but again, 60 seconds of hill time for him. And there's only so many kills on the map. He's got a Tempest to play with. I'm sure he's looking to change this around, but it doesn't really matter. All that matters is the win. Jerd going for the slam. Jerd flying in the slam, and he's going to find Looney, bless him, the one player who needed a couple kills for a bit of motivation maybe. But at this point, with 40 seconds left to go, it can end on Jet. Can they lock it down? Second War Machine for Temp. Standard stuff as always. Not going to connect, and I will say, when Temp gets his War Machine, he doesn't savor the pellets. They go straight out.
He just knows that Flak's on, and Flak Jacket, as you well know, friends, is extremely effective. So what else is effective? The Tempest. I don't care if you're wearing tac mask. Oh, you got to land the shots, and he will. Looney's going to get 1, 2 out of it. The chain comes through from behind. Aqua's going to find a kill on Unlucky, but Sukri and Journey have made their way to the point very effectively. Journey now on point. 239 for Splyce, though. It's looking very, very dark right now for Heretics. The rotation comes through. They are going to have 4, actually all 5 men are going to be on the point right now. They have to win their gunfights. They have to win their individuals. And right now, Nolson finds 2, and that's a huge advantage right now to Splyce.
Can they close it out? Nolson's opened it up with 2. Temp's in, and again amongst the gunfights, but Medals finds himself a huge triple to keep his team in it, to keep the hard point under control. They're down by 100, and it seems to be getting worse and worse, but Splyce just need 1 break, 10 points. That is all they need here, and as the time starts to tick away, there's only 1 player close. He's gonna be Sukri. He's got a stun, he's got a concussion in his top pocket, and this surely is the end as Splyce looking to close things out, round it out with a hot 3-1. Back-to-back victories here in the CWL Pro League after acquiring Nolson from Europe, their substitute coming in and looking pretty strong, Miles.
Strong is definitely one thing. I mean, we saw a bit of a shake there in the control. We saw a brilliant play, though, from Heretics. If anything, I mean, that's not necessarily Splyce not being great. It's just being Heretics, like, absolutely ripping them off there. I mean, that was fantastic work from them. But there you go. I think Pac-Man is screaming at Looney from the desk. Like, he's just absolutely howling him. I would love to talk to Marky B and see what the mood in the camp is like, just because new player, a very, very new player, and a very, very different player, especially in Nolson, coming in now to replace Accuracy. And there we have it. Splyce find themselves 2 back-to-back matches, as you said, Phil. I mean, success is there. I mean, for Heretics, though, what do you think about the state they're in at this point?
Heretics, I think they've got to take what they can going into Anaheim. Anaheim is what every player and team is thinking about right now. And again, we're going to quickly recap the very end. You kind of know how it went down, but I just want to talk about Heretics a little bit. And, these guys have picked up wins. Yes, they've been Game 5. We talk about them coming away from, obviously, their hometown, not having the best practice. They need to utilize that. I do see them getting better and better. I see they were tested today, and I see it was a very strong team that they went up against. But look what they did in Control. There's plenty of VODs for them to watch over, over the next days, weeks even, or weeks, should I say, before Anaheim. My goodness, is coming up very, very close. But Splyce, they're a team that want championships. They're a team that can win championships. Can they win it with Nolson? I think, again, we're going to have to wait and see. Anaheim, definitely not one to miss.
What an incredible story that would be, the Nolson coming off the bench, getting in that chip situation. Similar with Sim, in United, who knows? Still exciting stuff nonetheless. Splyce, they managed to find the win. It's a 3-1. Heretics have definitely got a bit of soul searching to do. Here we go, the final moments of this matchup, and we're almost ready to roll into our next series. Full exciting stuff. Still, that's going to be it, friends. Our PlayStation Instant Reaction is with the man, the myth, the legend, is Temp.
Thank you, Miles. After you said losing to Heretics twice in a row, how does it feel to get that win?
It feels pretty good. I mean, we needed that win, so we did what we were supposed to do.
What was the biggest surprise for you during that series?
I have no clue. I don't know. I'm not surprised. I've been playing for a while. I went pro when I was 15. I'm almost 20 now. So 5 years of playing, you don't really get surprised too much. I don't know. I'm not surprised.
All right. Well, then tomorrow you'll be facing 100 Thieves. What are you expecting out of them?
Free dubs, free cash. You know the vibes. Come on, 100 T, they can't kill me. I'm their idol, low key. So, I mean, as long as I do my job, we should be good.
Fair enough. Thank you so much. This has been your PlayStation Instant Reaction. Over to Katie at the desk.
Thank you, Jess. All right.
All the
Is Temp 100 Thieves idol?
Out of all the Donnie Temp quotes, that's the best one ever. I'm the idol. They can't kill me.
They can't kill me.
Low key.
Go to Bob's.
All right. So actually, something that the caster said before we went over to that interview was interesting to me. And Pac, do you think that Heretics does need to do some soul searching?
Soul searching.
Huh?
That's what the caster said. They said
That
before
sounds
they
like a
came over.
Miles thing.
Yeah, it was
definitely
a way. It
a
was Miles. Yeah.
I think they ran into a team that's in honeymoon. I don't think they need to search their souls. They're 2-0 this week. What I said when they came in is if they lost that first hard point, it's going to be trouble. That's what happened. They lost it. And they just went up against the best player in this game, and Tim had another one of those series.
Hot take.
It's not that hot of a take. Come on, are you watching? Whatever the hell he said yesterday. Are you watching?
Okay, why is it a hot take then?
Nah, just a bunch of good players.
This is a bunch of really good players, and these are a couple league matches. Obviously, Donnie's been doing it over the course of time. I'd put him top 3. He's got to win an event though for me.
That's fair. That's fair.
All right, so Splyce got that win, 3-1, following same fashion as United with Denial Lair, and they're 3-1. So, I mean, it looks like, again, Nolson did a good job stepping into that sub.
Unbelievable. The kid basically came in here, didn't play with any of these guys. He was mind-blown by the opportunity he got getting to this point and playing with this roster. He's definitely doing what he needs to do. 23 and 19 that first map, and in the S&D, double digits. If you're telling me a sub player is just going to be able to come in and just be able to slay and also do his thing in S&D, it would be hard for me to say that it'll be a good fit for the team. But the guy's definitely clicking with this team, and it's definitely showing with that 3-1 win over this Heretics.
What Nolson does really well is when he's in fights, he backs down really fast when he's at disadvantage. He plays with his teams and plays like a really solid support player. He does not try to do too much. You rarely see him fight that extra gunfight. He doesn't take a lot of extra peeks, and that's really good when you have a really strong cast around you because you're not giving your life away. You're waiting for those guys around you to help you, and that's why he's going positive, because he's not over-challenging.
Yeah.
He's doing a really good job with his team on short notice.
And sometimes it's tough for players who haven't been in the pro league for a while to come in here and play against some of the best players in the world, but I think Nolson appreciates the talent that he has around him, and he realizes that he doesn't need to be the guy that's going out there trying to get all those 3 pieces and stuff like that, and I'm just going to play my life and allow Temp, allow Aqua or Looney to come help me and just try to help these guys out as much as I can, and so this can work, and he's doing just that. He's fitting in like a glove, like it's perfect.
How do you guys feel about kind of the rest of the cast then? Looney, Aqua, Jur, the rest of them in that team?
Watching Looney in that frequency hard point today compared to yesterday, he's definitely improved. He went positive on this map, was able to play his life a lot more, and just his playmaking around that map, he just felt a lot more comfortable after playing it yesterday.
So he 2 of the 3 maps in the respawn, he had the lowest damage on the team. And I don't think that's a bad thing, because when Looney's doing his best and his teams are doing the best, he's doing extra stuff on the map, and they're winning. So when Looney can do that, those extra things on the map and not worry about having to be the main slayer on his team, like so last year with the Rise team before in IW and Black Ops 3, he was never the main slayer on those teams, and those teams were very good. Now he's back to that role where he doesn't have to go out there and slay, and it's helping a lot with his team.
Okay, we do have one more series for you. You can see it right there. Again, that's going to be Envy versus Enigma 6, both very much so looking for wins. But before we get to that, we will have a little bit of time. And wow, today has been flying by. A 3-0, a 3-1, and a 3-1 Splyce over Heretics if you just missed it. But again, coming up, we'll be talking our last series of the day. That'll be Envy versus Enigma 6.